Hi, welcome back to our module of control statements. In this video, I will be describing different iterative statements. Iterative statements are used to create loops. It repeats a certain statements till the condition is true. So there are three categories of iterative statements. The first is while loop, the second is do while loop, and the third is for loops. So while and for loop are entry control loop which checks the condition in the beginning, but do while loop is a exit control loop which checks the condition at the end. So let's study first while loop. We can see here syntax. First we have to initialize a variable, then we have to specify the condition. If condition is true, the body of the loop will execute, then we can increment or decrement the value accordingly. Variable is used to design the loop that is known as counter variable. Let's consider one simple example. Here I am initializing one variable I equals to 1 and the value of variable will go till 10. If the value of variable I is less than equal to 10, then control will come inside the loop. It will print the value of the variable and then we are incrementing the value of variable by 1. So you can see the output in the beginning. The value of I is 1. It is less than 10. Then the control will come inside and it will print the value of I. So the value of I is 1. Then we are incrementing it by 1. It become 2. It will compare whether it is less than 10. Yes, it is less than 10. The control will come inside the loop. It will print the value 2. In this way, the value of the I will get incremented. It will check. If it is less than, it will enter the loop. Then the value of the I will get printed. When the value of I is greater than 10, then the control will not come inside the loop. The next statement will execute after the loop. One more version of loop is while loop. Here you can see the syntax. It is similar to while, but there is a little change. First we have to initialize the variable, then the keyword do we have to specify. Then you can see this is the body of the loop. At the end we are checking the condition. So consider this example. We are initializing the value of variable I to 1. Then without checking condition, the control will come inside the loop. It will print the value of I and the value of I is 1. So here we are getting 1. Then we are incrementing the value of I by 1. So it become 2. Now the condition will get checked. 2 is less than equals to 10. Yes. Then the control will go inside the loop again and it will print the value 2. In this way it will keep on incrementing, checking and printing. This procedure will repeat till the value is less than equals to 10. If it is greater than 10, then the control will come out of the loop. One more loop is for loop. This is the simplest loop because all three steps we are mentioning in a single line. We have to initialize, then we have to mention condition, we have to increment or decrement accordingly separated by commas, and you can see this is the body of the loop. The same example I have considered for loop. First this is initialization, second we are mentioning the condition, and the third is we are incrementing the variable by 1 and inside the body we are printing the value. So same output we will get. In this way we learn about the different looping statement. This is the important concept of programming language. Next we have to study about different jump statements. So what is jump statement? Jump statements moves the control from one section of the program to the another section of the program. So there are three types of jump statement. The first is break, continue and goto. We have seen this break statement when we were studying about the switch. So let's study in detail. The first is break statement. It terminates the loop or switch statement. We have used this in the switch statement. If we will use this inside the loop, the control will immediately come out of the loop, terminating the loop. We have one more jump statement, that is continue statement. When we use this continue statement in the loop, the current iteration suspends and the control transfer to the next iteration for that loop. Then goto is used to transfer the control from one place to another place. Here we have to mention the label where the control should pass, and here we are mentioning where it should go. In this module we learned about the different looping statement and the jump statement. Now we will implement this concept in the programming. In this this video we are going to write a program to calculate the sum of the digits using while loop. First of all, consider a number, separate out the digits and sum it. Let's understand the concept. In step 1, we have to input a number. So let me declare the necessary variables. Using printf statement, I am printing a message, and using scanf statement, we are taking the input from a keyboard. We have to repeat the 3 steps till the number is not equals to 0. First we have to calculate the remainder, then we have to add that remainder to the sum, and then we have to divide the number by 10. So let's write the loop. This while loop is executing till the number is not equal to 0. Inside the loop we are repeating the 3 steps. In first step we are calculating the remainder, in the second step we are adding the remainder to the sum, and in the third step we are dividing the number by 10. Let's consider one number 125. In pass 1, when we take modulus by 10, we get the remainder 5. Then we have to add this remainder to the sum, which is initialized to 0. We get the answer 5. In next step we have to divide the number by 10. New number is 12. Now let's see the pass 2. In pass 2 again we are repeating the same steps. So the now number is 12. When we take modulus by 10, we get the value 2. Now we are adding this remainder to the sum, which is 5. We'll get answer 7. Again we have to divide the number by 10, and now the number is 12. So 12 divided by 10 is equals to 1. Now let's see for pass 3 what are the values. When we take modulus for the number and the number is 1, we get the answer 1. Again we have to add this remainder to the previous sum, and the sum is 7 now. Add 1 to the 7, we get answer 8. Divide the number by 10, and now the number is 1. When we divide the number by 10, we got the answer 0. So you can see here this while loop will execute till n is not equals to 0, and now the value of the n is 0. The while loop will stop and the control will come outside the loop. Now we will print the sum outside the loop. You can see here I am using printf statement to print the sum of the digits. We are getting the actual answer in the sum, so we are printing that variable. Now save the file, go to file, save as. Now let's click on build and run. I am going to enter value 125. You can see here the sum of the digits equals to 8. In this way we wrote a program to calculate the sum of the digits using while statement. Hi, welcome back. In this video we are going to write a program to check whether the number is an Armstrong number or not using do while loop. What is an Armstrong number? An Armstrong number is a number that is equal to the sum of the cubes of its digits. Here are the some of the examples. Let's consider 153. First we have to separate out the digits, then we have to take the cube of the digits, and then we have to add it up. Now let's code. Here are the steps. First we have to take a number. Let me declare some necessary variables. N is used to take the number, remainder variable will store the remainder. To calculate the sum of the cube of its digit, I am using sum, and one more variable I am using temp to store the original number temporarily. Now let's use printf and scanf statement to print the message and to take the input. Now we have to repeat the step 2, 3 and 4 till the number is not equals to 0. So what is the second step? First we have to calculate the remainder of a number, then we have to sum the cube of the remainder, and then we have to divide the number by 10. So let's design the do while loop. I hope you remember the syntax of the do while loop as we have studied in the previous videos. First we have to write the do keyword, then the body of the loop, and at the end we will check the condition. First time all the statement inside the loop will execute without checking the condition. We are calculating remainder, then we are taking the cube of it, we are adding to the sum, then we are dividing the number by 10. Let's consider one Armstrong number 153. When we will take modulus by 10, for 153 we will get 3. Then I am calculating the cube of 3, and adding it to the sum which is initialized to 0. So we got 27. In next step we are dividing the number by 10. So we got 15. You can see the number is not equals to 0. Then again the control will come inside the loop and the statements will execute. In pass 2 the remainder will be 5. Then we will calculate the cube of the remainder and we will sum it to the previous sum. So previous sum is 27, so we get 152. Now again divide the number by 10, so we got 1. 1 is also not equals to 0. The loop will execute one more time. In the pass 3 we got the remainder 1. We are taking the cube of the remainder and we are adding to sum. The sum is 150, so when we add 1 to 152 we got 153. In the next step we are dividing the number by 10, so we got the 0. Now you can see the value of n is 0. The loop will stop executing and the control will come outside the loop. Now we have to compare the sum with the original number. First I will save it to a temporary variable. Now to compare the sum with the original number, I am using if-else statement. If sum is equals to temp, which is the original number, then it is an Armstrong number, else we will get the message that it is not an Armstrong number. So let's save it. Go to file, save as, give any name. I am giving Armstrong.c. Click on build and run. You can see here the cursor is waiting for input. We will type an Armstrong number, that is 153. So you can see we are getting the message Armstrong number. In the second run I am not going to enter an Armstrong number. So let me try this number. You can see here we are getting the message not an Armstrong number. So in this video we wrote a program to check the number is Armstrong or not using do while loop. Hi, let's move ahead to the iterative statements. In this program we will be using for loop to calculate the factorial of a number. So what is the factorial? If you want to calculate the factorial of a number, we have to multiply all the numbers in between starting with 1 to that particular number. So let's see the steps. First we have to take a number. So let me declare the necessary variables. Then using printf and scanf statement we are taking a number from the keyboard. In second step we have to design the loop which will execute from 1 to that particular number. So we can see the for loop, it is beginning with 1, it is going till n and incrementing the value by 1. Here I am initializing one more variable, fact, so that I can keep on multiplying in every steps. You can see here the steps in the loop. The first, the value of the variable will be 1, so it will multiply to 1, will get the answer 1. In the next step, the value of I will be 2 and then we'll get the result 2. In the third pass, the value of the variable will be 3, it will multiply the previous value of factorial, we will get 6. And next, it will increment to 4 and we will multiply the previous value of fact, so we'll get the answer. After the calculation, should print the result. Using printf statement, I am going to print the result. Let's save the file. Click on build and run. You can see here the cursor is waiting for input, so I am going to give input as 4. So you can see the answer is 24. In this way we saw how to calculate the factorial of a number using for loop. Hi, welcome back. In this video, I will be demonstrating different jump statements. Let's consider break statement. Here, I have taken one simple example which will print the values from 1 to 10. So click and build and run and check the output. You can see here we are printing 1 to 10. If after printing 5, I don't want to continue the loop, I can use the break statement. Break statement causes the loop to terminate immediately and the control will come out of the loop. It is an conditional jump statement, so we should write the condition. So let me write one condition. If I is equals to 5, break. So let's save the changes. Click on build and run. You can see the output. we are getting the values from 1 to 5. When the value of I is 5, the control is immediately coming out of the loop and the rest of the numbers are not printing. So we studied how to use the break statement to come out of the loop. Break statement is used in switch statement also to end the case that we have studied in the program. Now let's understand the concept of continue statement. When a continue statement encounter inside the loop, it skips the rest of the statements in the loop and the control transfer to the next iteration. Here I have considered the same example which will print the numbers from 1 to 10. If I don't want to print a specific number, I can use a continue statement. Continue statement is also a conditional jump statement, so we should mention the condition. If I is equals to 5, continue. Click on build and run to check the output. Here you can notice the number 5 is not printing. Why this is so? Because I have written a condition if the value of I is 5, continue. So the continue statement will skip the printf statement and the control will pass to the next iteration, that is 6. So again from 6 the values are printing till 10. So in this way continue statement skips the rest of the statements and continue with the next iteration. Now let me explain one more jump statement, that is goto statement. Goto statement is an unconditional jump statement. Here we have to mention where the control should transfer using the label. Consider a simple example. Here we are printing some statements. After that I am writing goto statement. Here is the label. So last will work as a label. So wherever we will mention the last, the control will transfer to that label. You can see here I have written the label here. So that will result in skipping these two statements and the control will pass directly to this label last and will get the message end of program. So let's click on build and run and check the output. You can see here we are getting the first message. C programming is developed by Dennis Ritchie. After that the control passed to the last statement and we are getting the message end of program, and these two statements are getting skipped. So in this way goto statement is used to transfer the control, but it is highly discouraged because we cannot trace the flow of the program. So in this video we learned about the different jump statement. In the next video I will be covering the topic of functions. Keep learning, keep coding. See you in the next video.